Welcome back to the Cognac, Tequila, and the Girl Show. It's time to hang out with Rob, Mike, and Dunia. Whatever you don't want to say, they will with no chaser. Take a shot and let's have a drink. Is hashtag squad goals still a thing? Because they are. Let's go.
We're back.
Hello.
Yeah, I sound loud.
Somebody's still listening.
So loud or something. We're back, everyone. Thank you for joining us again. We've got our special guests here again. My sissy. I don't know what her name will be. Sister 3 or Sister 2, sorry, is here. My bad. It's because I said sissy. And so it rhymed better with 3. But anyways, she's back. What's your name this evening? What are you drinking?
Tequila. I could be Mono Palova. I was gonna say mono, but
you don't want to.
You could just be Shot Girl. I feel like your name, Shot Girl, is your name.
Yeah.
That's your superhero name now.
Yeah,
Shot
that's
Girl.
my signature.
Yeah.
I was about to say
that's all she wants to do.
You don't want to go as mono. You'll be like, I put people to sleep.
Yeah.
When I kiss them.
Yeah, that sounds contagious. Anyways, we're back, and we are doing an episode of True Crime, which my sister is super into, so she was like, hold up, what y'all doing? Wait a minute, when is it doing?
Move some things around.
And this particular episode, we're going to do Dahmer. We'll probably do some other ones, but Dahmer is so popular right now because of the Netflix show.
Gotta talk about that.
Yeah, but before we get into it, Tequila, how was your week?
It was good, long.
Yeah, it was long as shit. Oh my god, the longest week ever. Here, no adjectives for long. Extended.
My week was extraordinary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have the most extraordinary weeks ever.
Yeah, it was extraordinary. I made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're back. How was your week, Cognac?
It was good. Had to fast on Tuesday evening.
Lord, I blocked that out. Me too.
Yeah. Tried to sleep as much. I read magazines and, prayer stuff, per usual, almost every year. I think it's one day a year at least you have to celebrate being me. And that's the least you can do.
You mean being a Jew?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's clarify there.
There's new listeners that don't know why you're
so anyway,
it's Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur. Chag Sameach to the Jewish listeners. So, that's kind of it. I don't have a really close synagogue, so I didn't drive to synagogue, but I usually sit there and I'll try to read, parts of scripture and stuff like that, and pray for my forgiveness from other people, and if I've ever done them wrong. And other than that, the fasting. It's always the drinking for me. I don't need a cigarette. I don't need food. I don't care about that. I get so thirsty. That's my biggest thing about that. With that being said, the highlight of my week is I got to pick up Harper by myself on Friday.
Oh, it was so cute.
So,
I can't even.
Uncle. I watched that like 7 times.
Yeah.
So, you don't do that for him.
Because I was so nervous because I was getting my lashes done, so I couldn't look at if he was texting. So I was like, just call if you need something.
So I put her in the car and gave her pop. I pulled to the side, because they kind of want you to go. So I pulled this over in the corner and gave her pop. She was all excited, talking. And just fell asleep, in the middle of her talking.
Because they be working her over there. I think she's pushing the merry-go-round because she's so tall.
I think they just do a whole lot of head, shoulders, knees, and toes. It wears her out.
And she's taller, so that's a lot of extra work.
She's taller and she's thinning out. You guys peeped it?
Yeah.
And so I thought I was going to have to pull over to get the pop out of her mouth again. And I was like, why did you have to fall asleep in the middle of this other school zone? And so by the time I went to pull over to take the pop, she woke up for a minute and took the pop out herself.
Well, you're lucky because I usually have to pry it out of her mouth.
I just leave it in her mouth.
I do too until we get here, but then I try to pry it when I lay her down.
Because I have to keep in mind, it's convenient for me, but that's how you get cavities.
Okay.
Like,
I didn't think that way. I was thinking of a choking hazard.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that should be first.
Well, usually, but obviously I'm an adult. With cough drops, I'll put them like in the side of my cheek when I'm trying to sleep, and I'll just sleep on.
I get to snoring. I've been in this Pixie.
It's
Well, everybody
He's
heard
not
that.
gonna talk to me because I have Pixie.
So
No
yeah,
comment.
that was the highlight of my week.
My week was. It just started off really shitty. If you've listened to any of our episodes, I've talked about people being out all the time, and I'm busy. And I had a conversation with said people probably a week prior, and talked about, for the liquor industry, for any company, October, November, December, right, beginning of January is our busiest times. Everybody's drinking. It's the holidays. You
Shots.
drink on every holiday.
70% of your business.
Yeah. So I said, basically, get everything you need done because it's going to be crazy. And that was followed by a 2-week notice being turned in on Monday. And I feel bad because the woman was very nice, but I just think it was a really shitty thing to do. And so I have an attitude about it.
I mean, how much y'all paying?
No, I'm not. We can't work together. I love you.
I can't work from home.
No, if you could work from home, I'd be working from home. The hell?
It's 2 different jobs.
No, it's not. I could work from home better than you could in that position.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No
I
comment.
could revolutionize
Yeah.
the industry.
No, we can't
Y'all
work.
wouldn't even need nobody else. Just me solely.
No.
Route the calls to me.
My
the
father-in-law
e-file.
couldn't handle the both of us. He can barely handle me. The both of us, oh gosh, his head would explode.
Who are you talking to like that? Hold on, let me take my wig off.
Oh no, and no wigs coming off, please. Anyways, other than that, it was an alright week. Yeah. How was your week, shot girl?
I actually started off my week the last day of my fast. So every 1st through 3rd of the month, I do fasting. I've been doing that for the last year.
I ain't never heard this.
Because for our
It's supposed to be kept.
yeah, you're not supposed
Yeah.
to say anything. So
It's,
if people notice you're not eating or something, you just try to deviate away from it. Like it's a secret, but
Yeah.
it's just
Not for sure.
yeah. It's supposed to just be something that's between you and God. So yeah, just sharing that now because I mean that's how I started my week. That was the last day of the fast, which went pretty well. I don't have a problem fasting.
So you don't eat?
Yeah, I don't eat from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. I do my own intermittent fasting on my own, and that's usually from sunup to sunset for me.
For listeners that don't know, my sister she loves food. She's the skinniest of all 3 sisters, but she eats like all 3 of us at one time. Yeah.
So, I mean, but it actually wasn't hard for me to get into the 1st of the month fasting because I was already on a spiritual journey. I had already been kind of told to start fasting, so I had already been fasting on my own without anyone knowing. So when it became for our Bible study session that we were doing that, it wasn't hard to transition into it. It was just more days. But the rest of the week was good. My industry is kind of slow, so it's pretty chill at work, but it's also kind of scary because people are being moved around, which shout out to my company. They're not laying people off. They're just moving everyone around to try to keep everybody, but my position allows me so much flexibility with Harper and stuff like that. Me moving somewhere else, I don't know for sure that would happen. So I've been very, very, very blessed to be able to keep my position. But yeah, it was pretty chill.
Ain't nobody trying to buy a house during the holidays.
No, so it's gonna get real slow here soon. And then with the interest rates and everything rising, no one's buying.
Yeah.
And no one's refinancing, so we're kind of stagnant. But Wells Fargo actually has 12,000 people in their complete mortgage, like every facet of the mortgage industry. They're trying to get down to 2,500. So they're doing massive layoffs, and they're doing it now during the holiday season. So
That's so
it's
shitty.
horrible. Yeah.
But that's a city bank.
Yeah.
I mean, they just have horrible morals, ethics. Their ethics there are. I mean, they've been put in the light for a lot of fucking shit.
Wells Fargo?
Yeah.
They sent me, I think I told
God,
you,
dang.
Dania, that
Don't
they
even.
sent me a check for $32 a couple months ago due to the fraudulent account openings they were doing. So I guess at some point there was accounts or an account opened up in my name and it was a class action suit, but it's been a really long time, so I don't know if you remember, but I haven't had Wells Fargo since I was 19.
And I've had them since I was 16.
Yeah,
So this a Wells Fargo story. I never told anybody. I hope she's not listening.
Uh-oh.
Well, it don't matter if she is. Fuck her.
Fuck
But,
you. Fuck you.
She family though. But I had a co-sign for my niece a car, and it was through Wells Fargo, the loan, and the car got repoed. So I was paying off the car, and then just all of a sudden I got a check for $8,000, and they paid off the car, Wells Fargo, because I didn't understand, but for something they did,
They paid off her whole car?
they paid off the car, gave me an $8,000 check, and it was because some fucked up shit they were doing with their loan process.
Well, you know
and
what?
they got caught.
I don't like to throw this out there, but nigga, when you get $8,000, I need to borrow some money.
How old was Harper?
God's on.
I need to give it back to Wells Fargo.
Right?
But a lot of places are getting caught up with like predatory lending. I don't know what the Wells
It wasn't.
Fargo.
It was something they did that they charged her too much. I think her insurance. She stopped paying insurance on the car, and they was charging her too much for the insurance that they put on the car. You know, if you stop putting, so they was charging her too much for the insurance that they put on the car.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, I was gonna just say Santander.
Yeah.
I had got a loan that, I mean, I was younger, so I didn't really understand all that stuff. But apparently, it was a predatory loan. The car it wasn't even totaled out. I just couldn't afford to fix it, so I just let them keep it. But long story short, come to find out, they had this huge class action lawsuit, and it was a matter of, okay, if you have a repo, anything like that, like they took it off your credit. So it was a blessing for me because, I mean, it was getting ready to fall off my credit because it had been so long. But because of that, it actually put me in the position to buy a house last year. Like it raised my credit, so yeah.
And then
I don't want to say fuck Wells Fargo because my money there right now, but
She's
damn
just
y'all.
kidding.
But damn y'all.
Like,
could I get a check?
Well, you know what happened to me last week.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta pay attention to these class actions because I got another one coming in from Equifax.
Oh my gosh.
They emailed me. I was like, let me go ahead and update mine.
This is gonna be a long episode, guys.
Just
We
saying.
talks.
And then my buddy's wife worked for, shout out to my boy Ralph, works for Wells Fargo.
You're about to get her fired.
And she don't work there anymore. And, she don't work anywhere, God bless her. But they were, so the tellers and shit was just like, would get you to open an account, and then when they open your account, they would apply for credit cards, doing all kind of shit for you because they make commissions for selling the Wells Fargo's product. And that shit was all over the news, you know what I'm saying? Because they were just fucking over people.
I don't watch the news.
They even had a Saturday Night Live skit about it.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
I remember.
They was just, I remember that too.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get into this episode now. Thank you. That we had a whole financial institution segment there.
We had a Wells Fargo.
I currently
Don't
Listen here, but they got my money. They got my money, Mike. Damn. Just wait.
Shot Girl
What was
currently
it?
works for a bank, so if you guys need any credit advice, banking
Was
advice,
it on-
please follow me.
On Chappelle, it
You
was
need to create an account now called Shot Girl.
what was it? Keep your money up. Bills, dollars, y'all. Wu-Tang Clan finances.
All right, before we get into this true crime episode, we are gonna do our segment.
What segment is that?
You know that one segment that we do.
Joking with Cognac.
Out.
So a patient walks into the doctor's office and he says, "Doctor, you really need to help me. I keep singing the future."
You told this one.
Did I tell that
Yes.
one? Dang it, that's why.
Yes.
Did I say this one?
Yes, you totally did.
Well, real quick, Dan.
Not prepared.
I
Y'all
was.
gotta
I
delete Delete.
I know. I gotta go to my notes. I go to my notes real quick.
And we really needed a joke because we're about to talk about dark stuff.
I know. I'm gonna go to my
goodness.
notes. I did mark it out, or I did not mark that one out. You're right. What do you do with a year's worth of used condoms?
Ew. I hope they're already in the trash. I don't know.
I'm not even going to think about it.
Melt them down and call it a good year.
Oh, no. I knew you would laugh.
Call it a good year.
Absolutely. I knew you would. I knew it. Yeah. Oh, my God.
What if it's just one condom for a
nasty.
year? Huh? What if it's just one condom for a year?
Melt it down and call it a
bad
thumbtack.
year?
No, what they call them the notary? When you go through, remember those old things you put on your thumb? And they were little red things, and you used to go through papers. You could do them real quick.
Oh, the thumbs. Oh,
yeah,
the girl that
yeah,
just put in her 2 weeks uses those.
Yeah.
They're like
Please,
file
we
folder
don't need your 2
thumb
weeks and take
things.
your little thumbtack with you.
No, I need her.
Not really.
They're little
I can bring my
rubber.
laptop.
They're little rubber things, and they
She has them because she always talks about, I went home with this, and whatever. Anyways, alright, so we're going to get into our true crime episode. I just want to kind of give a synopsis for anybody who doesn't know who Jeffrey Dahmer is. Shame on you, by the way, because I have a friend who literally would have been killed by Jeffrey Dahmer. Never heard of him. Never heard of him until the Netflix show. I have an older woman I work with. She had never heard of him. Older than me. Never heard of him.
That person I'm judging.
Yeah.
Because remember I told you I was thinking about it. I'll let you get to, but one of the things was about just like the ages, like when it happened, to actually see the show and be like, there was no way really to, I don't think not know it, but it was like, he got caught in 91. I was born in 91, you know, so. Yeah,
I was like, ma'am.
Yeah, I didn't.
Come on. But it's maybe because it didn't affect her community as much. I don't know. Anyways, so for those who don't know, Jeffrey Dahmer, he was dubbed the Milwaukee Monster. He was a rapist, a cannibal, and a necrophiliac, and a serial killer who confessed to murdering 17 young men from 1978 to 1991. He was an army medic and a college dropout, and he confessed to seeking out 17 men and lured them to his home, drugging them with sleeping pills and murdering them. Records show that Dahmer mainly preyed on prostitutes, drifters, and partygoers. Before he was identified as a serial killer, he was arrested and convicted on charges of disorderly conduct and put on a 5-year probation for sexual exploitation of a child involving enticement. And if you watch how he get 5 years probation, I don't know. We can get into it.
We gonna get into it.
But Dahmer told police he was motivated by powerful fantasies of having programmable sex slaves. And he escalated from rape to murder, eating parts of his victims and having sex with them after death. Dahmer was ultimately convicted of his crimes and sentenced to 16 life sentences. And he was beaten to death by Christopher Scarver. Not all heroes wear capes. Thank you, sir. Fellow inmate at Wisconsin's Columbia.
Really quick, because that was the last part that you said. Did anyone see his interview? Or not his interview, when his court appearance?
Yeah, I saw it. I watch a lot of documentaries of serial killers. So I've seen
The killers?
The killer.
Yeah. The one who killed Jeffrey.
Yeah. He was
I was like, okay, because that's the type of energy I would have. He was like, yeah, I did it. Like, come on.
What else?
Okay.
You would have did too.
Right.
Yeah. He did not care. I mean, in the show, they portray him like basically having like a conversation with God. In the interviews that I saw, that wasn't it, but it would make sense to me because he told him in the show, you can find God all you want, but you can't hide from His wrath, and I'm God's wrath for you today. And amen. And
we ain't gonna get into all that,
Sir,
but I'm gonna just say God gives people messages that's not meant for everybody, so you may not understand it, but
What's his number? I'm gonna put some money on his books because I would have did the same thing if I'm already in there.
And he wasn't bad looking for real.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. It's okay. You're a newbie. We'll let it slide this time. Anyways, what are you gentlemen's? We all watched the show, but do you guys have anything?
I'm trying not to dominate this
I'm
conversation.
gonna let Mike go first. I don't know. So yeah, that show was fucking crazy. Like, I could not stop watching, which is sad and sick, because I'm just like, first of all, I'm not technically, homosexual, so I don't understand that part of it. Like, as far as, like, I thought he was awkward. So, like, even if a girl acted the way he did, I would be like, wow, you're kind of freaking weird. And then the smells in the apartment, too. Like, if I would have walked into some chick's apartment, she acting and dancing, like, weird like that, and how he, like, carries himself, I would have been like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and leave. No, stay for some popcorn. I don't need your popcorn. I got popcorn at my house. Like, I don't know. What the hell?
Yeah.
I don't get that, how he was able to manipulate these people to be there just with the stench alone.
But I think that you have to.
But then he drugged them too, so you got that.
Yeah, but not till they got in the house. Well, no, he did some at the bar.
Sometimes at the bar too. So there's that aspect of it too.
But you have to really, like my sister, I'm super into true crime, so I like analyze it. And I also just want to say I was really excited to talk about this with you guys, because the things that I picked up that most people didn't pick up, I felt like if you didn't pick them up, you would at least like have a good conversation about it. So to your point about like he was so awkward and all of this stuff, I want to say it was episode 7 or 8. It was with our boy, I forgot his name, Edward. Was that his name? The deaf one.
Yeah.
There's this particular moment when he's with his friends at the table.
Yeah,
and he's talking about just like the stigma behind being deaf, and then you're black, and then you're gay, and then you put them all together, And I think that's how he was able to prey on them so much, because they were a stigmatized group as well.
Yeah.
So they were trying to like give him a chance, because it's like, we don't want to do the same things to him that are being done to us. And overall, even, I know a lot of people are basing it off of the episode, but if you really look back on the actual character, or I'm sorry, the actual person, he was awkward, but he was fun. Right? Like, he couldn't have just been awkward and had nothing, else behind it, but he was, like, fun, and he, did these things, and it was like, okay,
and he was talented, he was a photographer, and you're, the gay scene, they're, like, having fun, and they're also, like, super private, and that's another reason he was able to get a lot of his victims. Don't use that, just don't use that. Because at that time, it wasn't cool to be gay or accepted, and so people would go to these bathhouses or these gay bars, and people wouldn't even know that they went there or knew that they were gay. Yeah. So they just be like, I don't know what the fuck happened to such. The fuck?
I was gonna say, in a lot of
he's gay. He probably ran off with his boyfriend or something like that. Yeah. So, and he knew.
Yeah, like I said, I watched interviews in the past with him himself. But even him himself, when he was speaking, I was like, and like I said, I'm taking it personally where I'm like, this dude's off.
Yeah.
But
he off.
But you also, he was off. Yeah, but that's how you also. That's why I'm saying there's so much more to it that I'm not saying no one else caught it, but that I particularly caught, because it's like, I think especially with the new generation, you guys have to remember this was back in 91, and like you had said in the intro, he started in 78. So we're talking about an era of people who had no idea about mental issues.
It was like a free love
because he definitely came off. Now that we have all of this knowledge in 2022, like he might have been on the spectrum, right? And that's not something anyone really kind of understood. So it's not to humanize. Well, I do want to say I think it is important to humanize him, only for the simple fact that
humans can be devils.
Yes, but
demons.
People made it into this whole thing of like, well, you know, I'm talking about things I saw on social media, like, don't try to, you know, feel bad for him, and I was like, it actually paints a bigger picture to me, because I feel like there's monsters who are born monsters, and there's nothing you could have done. They were always going to be a monster, and people who are created. And with him, he still is in this like weird gray area, because it's like, yeah, you had a bunch of stuff going on in the womb, then you were born, and then you were born into this chaotic environment. So it's like, you really didn't stand a chance either way. Not justifying anything.
But I just want to throw out there that he is not an only child, and the other one handled the same environment just fine.
But mind you,
I
don't know how true it is, because I did look it up. Yeah. I don't know how true it is, but the mom wasn't doing the same or on the same medication with the second
That's
son,
what I asked. That's what I said.
And she had left, and the dad also. I can't confirm this. He was gone.
Yeah, he left.
And in the show, they show him leaving, or they're divorcing kind of later in his life, but he actually was gone before then. So it's a completely different environment that the second son was born into. And if you happen to listen, because no one knows your name, no one knows where you are, just keep living your life. Don't tell nobody who you are, because he changed his name.
Yeah, no.
I would have too, obviously.
Course.
But yeah, like he was just a different.
But to your point,
I'm listening.
Oh, I thought you were about to say something.
Well, there's a particular topic I want to bring up in it that I'm so excited to hear your perspective on, but I do want to hear your perspective on what we've talked about so far.
I don't think he was awkward, as awkward as the media portrayed him to be. And then, you know, like you speak about the homosexual group, they feel like they're awkward people, so they're not going to identify his awkwardness the way we identify as awkwardness. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know how to move in their environment. Yeah. So it's awkward to us, but he figured out how to move in their environment. Mm-hmm. So he wasn't as awkward to them as he may seem awkward to us. I know a lot of people that carry themselves like Dahmer did.
Yeah.
Literally, you know what I'm saying? Just
like Napoleon Dynamite?
No, just keep to themselves and do their own fucking thing.
No.
You know, if you look at from the outside, he came from a well-rounded home. He had his mom, he had his father. You know, they lived in a nice home. You know what I'm saying? So
like a suburb.
You know, maybe he wasn't as bright at school and as social at school.
But you're talking, I feel like, because I want you to elaborate on this. When you're saying, like, he came from a 2-parent household and he had a nice house, what about the dynamic within the home?
You don't know. You can look at the neighbors across the street and you don't know the dynamic, and they look like they're well-rounded people, and that's how we move. You know what I'm saying? That's how we.
Well, but his dad did write a book, and it wasn't that great.
Yeah, I'm talking about during.
Oh, during.
Yeah, during him
but
being Dahmer.
Are you talking from an outside perspective, or are you talking about like actually within the home? Like, are you labeling like it as a?
I'm talking about my neighbors across the street. I think they got a
weirdo.
Oh no, I think they. I think they're
a Dahmer.
No, I'm just thinking that they're well-rounded family. They live in a nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
They husband and wife. Their kids graduate from high school. You know, because they had the graduation, and you know. But I don't know the inside dynamics. Yeah. I'm talking about us calling him awkward.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so it's hard to just pick these people out.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the stage that's set. And you know what I'm saying? It said that he's normal. He come from a normal family. We don't know that he dissecting dead animals and all this shit in the garage.
Yeah, that's very true.
There's an interview where he does talk about that.
No, but
prior to
you're saying on the outside looking in.
We know he did it now.
Yeah. We know what she was doing.
But everybody looking at little Jeffrey riding his tricycle didn't know that he liked to kill animals.
Yeah. Hey,
for sure.
Hey, Jeffrey.
For sure.
I like your new trike. Thank you. I'll be fucking killing possums later. He didn't do all that.
The best thing about Dahmer is he talked. He told us. He painted the picture.
Yeah.
And we don't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because he told us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
very good point.
He didn't talk and paint the picture that he painted. You know, he told about murders that they didn't even know that he did. You know what I'm saying? So that's the best thing about him and his whole assness.
Po-ass.
He was transparent about the dumb shit he did. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
He said, that's the way.
Because he wanted them to kill him.
And I think also, like, at least in the show, and I think that's just a real life thing, that when we said the homosexuality, it was like the parents were more scared that he was gay than him being creepy. Than him being creepy. And the grandmother.
Especially the scene. And again, I also just want to like disclosure, and I think we can all agree, like, we know some of this, if not the majority of it, is fictionalized, because you're kind of trying to just like, from what he said to what you don't know, trying to fill that in.
Yeah.
But the scene where the dad comes back with the girlfriend and they're sitting down, and he actually...
Shout out Molly Ringwald.
Love you, girl. I was like, is that Molly?
Yes.
It took me.
I knew as soon as she came on, I go, Rob, that's Molly Ringwald.
I did.
16 Candles. Yeah.
Because I didn't like
And
her.
I said...
You don't like her in there.
Yeah. And I said, I know.
Yeah.
But the scene, again, don't know if this is fictionalized or if I haven't heard any interviews of him specifically saying this, but the scene where they're in the diner and he's actually trying to, like, hey, you know, and it's like, go to Ohio State. How did you get to that conclusion? Because he's over here saying, like, I want to talk to you, I'm trying to tell you something, you know, whatever. And you're just like, is this a sex thing? And it's like, well, yeah, it's kind of part of it, but I'm trying to, and it's like, I know. Yeah. You need to go to Ohio State. What?
Yeah, he was reaching out.
Because even Molly Ringwald's character, she was like, well, you know, like, what is he saying? Like,
she was trying to figure out what the fuck.
And then the dad does, and she's like, okay, this is what we're doing now. Yeah, like, you know, like, she was still like,
But the wife, Molly, probably didn't know about the shit that his dad was sharing with him, you know, because it came out later that his dad had the same fucking feelings that Dahmer had. He just didn't act as like Dahmer.
Right?
Yeah. Good catch, for sure.
So even if Dahmer reaching out to his dad, that's like not the right person to reach out to.
But like I said, with live interviews, it was crazy to me. Like you said about the blueprint thing, he was sitting there. He's like, this is did I like to do it? No, my first kill, no. But after that, it kind of got easier.
Yeah, and
that's exactly how he talked.
And he talks so nonchalant about it. Because he started with rape. So we don't even know how many people he raped.
Yeah.
We're just talking about people he killed.
That's true.
And he was like, and I tried to stop. And even when he was in they kind of didn't really elaborate. Like when he went to the military.
Yeah,
there were people that complained in real life that said that he was raping soldiers while he was in the military.
And then again, it also tracks back to the time frame.
People
aren't realizing, like, you're thinking of how we've adapted and grew now, but back then, with the military, don't ask, don't tell.
You're not gonna tell.
So it's like
a man raped another man.
Exactly. And imagine going to your commander, whoever's in charge of you.
I would have beat the shit out of Jeffrey Dahmer. If I'd have woke up with lick residue on my face.
With what?
Like he was licking that dude.
I am in the grave. You said lick residue.
I thought he said the D word. I thought he said. I thought he said dick residue.
I mean,
that's what I thought.
I'm gonna kick his ass because of that. But
I'm about to
drugged the one
tonight and go to sleep and see what the lick residue.
He drugged the one.
What is happening to you in your sleep?
Let's talk about it off camera.
I know. Is it sticky?
Waking up with a black light.
Imagine.
I don't know.
Black light on your face.
But imagine.
It looked like he left something.
He probably did. It was just funny. Lick residue. Your boyfriend is gonna, if he listens to this, gonna be like, "I told you to spit."
Nasty. But it's like a twofold thing, because imagine, like you were saying, like, we don't even really know how many, because a lot of people were like, and it's still true today.
Yeah.
Men will not report rape, especially with another man.
Of course.
So back then, it's like,
but a straight man.
Yeah, it's a stigmatization.
They won't though.
But the ones
that
did, imagine your commander.
A lot of times,
you coming to me as your commander, right? You're like, I don't care what the stigma is. Like he done did some weird shit to me.
He done did some lick to my face.
I'm over here like, look, Tequila.
Okay.
Sorry, you gay? Like, what did you do
to
make him feel?
Who's doing all of that?
They do.
I mean, who going to the command? I'm not. If you,
she's saying that.
reported to your higher up. Like, it has to be reported.
She's saying the command. He's saying the commander.
Okay, you don't have to explain to me.
He's speaking for himself.
Because that shit
he
making
probably
me frustrated.
He would have just killed him.
Yeah, I'd have went straight to Dahmer and
Well,
dealt with them after the fact.
He would have done that, but the military would have been like, why'd you kill him?
Yeah, after the fact, I'd deal with the commanders and all that shit.
But would you tell him what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would.
A lot of people
I feel like the reason that people...
Because you know who it was if you wait, he invite you over, because they had one scene in the military where hey, I got some you wanna drink some?
But
and
see,
he was licking on the dude's face and shit.
This is where
so when that dude woke up, violated, he know who violated him.
Yeah.
You know who violated him.
But I feel like,
I'm gonna get my little posse. Look, man. Y'all know how I roll this motherfucker.
I had some fucking lick residue on my shit.
But I just feel like, again, because it's like, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do some. I have no problem. I don't care what comes with it.
Yeah, that shit don't
like, I'll deal with
it
after I'm done. That's how I move.
Yeah.
I mean, not now. I've grown a lot, but before, I'll deal with the consequences after. I'm gonna handle how I feel like it needs to be handled, and then I'll deal with it.
I'm with you. I haven't grown.
So I was gonna say,
yeah.
I get his aspect on that. Is you do it, and then you'll probably serve 20 years until they figure out he's eating on other motherfuckers.
He's eating people.
Right.
He tried to eat me.
Yeah.
I told y'all I had lick residue.
You see the lick
and now he
residue
ate
in the
people.
And then after Mike serves 20 years, they're going to give him a good payout. Because they're like, you were right. You were right, Mike.
Yeah, like, sorry.
They didn't pay out people enough. Don't even get me started on that.
So if your cousin socked you in the jaw,
okay.
Before you hit your cousin back, you go tell your dad.
Well, no, I'm gonna grab my cousin and
Okay,
tell him
But I think, so with me and Tequila, I feel like, and I don't want to speak out of turn, I'm just saying like observation-wise, but for me and you, we're just like, we're gonna handle this right now. But I also think, and I've learned this now, that I have to realize people don't handle things, like the majority of the world doesn't handle things how I handle it.
I'm going to fuck someone up if there's lick residue, because I didn't even know that was a thing, and it's grossing me out.
I don't like it. It's
I'm definitely.
And if my booty hurts,
it's over.
And I didn't know why my booty hurt. I'm fucking you up.
You're
but like coming back around on another context of that, it's like with little male children who are molested, right? They have this ideology where it's like, well, if I say something, everyone's going to think I'm gay. Like, no one, they can't.
Especially in that time frame.
Exactly.
Well, that's what we're getting to, yeah.
But even now, because if you look at the statistics, because I did look this up, if you look at the statistics of men versus women who are reporting rape, we're not talking about how often it happens to, but it's statistically higher for women than men. But then you see like Reddit posts, or you see people like anonymously confessing.
I don't Reddit. Yeah.
I don't either. I just be on Instagram. Oh. But I'm saying there's people who come out anonymously or in this where they feel like they're safe on the internet where no one can trace it back and say it. It's like, well, if we really added the amount of people, because they will say like, I didn't report it.
But you also still have more women also, because there's women that
of course. But it's like, I'm a very neutral person, and a lot of women hate that because I can see the male perspective. I can see you blast these people on social media. Like he poured his heart out to me, not even about rape or anything, but just emotionally. You blasted him. That's why men don't say anything. So imagine you already have that, and then you're like, but if I say that this happened to me.
Okay, let's bring it back to Dahmer.
That's
a whole other conversation.
No, I'm saying, but I'm saying it all circles back because it's like, imagine already feeling like people aren't going to believe you. Already people feeling like, well, because I'm a man and I was taken.
Well, we saw it in the show. Like, when the guy that they finally caught him on, all he had to say was, "Oh, that's my boyfriend. We were just doing gay shit." Yeah. And the cops were like, "Ew, already."
And there's
already
a whole dead body.
Already put off. Yeah. I mean, the fridge was full of fucking people. That's you.
That's
The The fridge is full of people. The house stinks. I mean, as a police officer, I'm sure you guys chit-chat and talk. You know what a dead body smells like, right? Like, and there was blood on the mattress. You went into the damn nightstand with blood on the mattress.
Say it, sister.
Well, and then you open the nightstand, and then you're looking at it.
Or cherry
and you're looking at the pictures, and it's like, sir, that's
what they're thinking.
That's not how gay shit works.
Let me get the fuck
gay shit. Yeah.
They popping cherries.
They popping booty cherries. That's what they said. Popping booty cherries.
You know, like it was just like there was so much wrong in that, but all he had to keep saying. That's what I thought the smell was coming from. You know, we're just doing gay shit.
Popping booty cherries.
You know, gay shit. You know, gay shit.
And then, and to keep going with what you're saying, because I'm sure you're going to touch on it, but it's just gay stuff. And then and it's in the show, but they're just like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, they were like, I don't even really want to go inside, right? Because it's gay shit. Like they're gonna walk in and turn gay.
Yeah,
that's literally, and that's how it was in that time frame.
So that being said, I have to do one thing. I have to say one thing about what Mike said about the lick in the face thing.
Oh God, we can't let that go. That was great.
That's your new one.
I'm about to start licking faces.
So the thing was, I guess it would be more or less like stages of that. Now, if the licking the face thing is something, but raping's a whole nother situation. So you're not going to go to your commanding officer. I'm going to whoop his ass for licking my face. Personally, right then and there. But are you going to kill him for doing that?
I might.
If they don't pull me off.
If you drug me.
Because
if you're in the military and this cat licks your face,
I mean,
and you kill him, they're going to be fucked.
It's like Mike said. It's just like Mike said. He's like, if you don't pull me off of you, Yeah. But it's like Mike literally just said. He was like, well, if you don't pull me off of him, you don't know. You can literally just get into like a random fight, punch someone the right way, and they die. So imagine
and when I said licking if you lick me in the face, you may as well rape me. So that, I'm talking about the whole fucking. But I just remember
that's where he draws the line.
Like what part? Like right on the crust of the lip?
You don't care. You put your tongue out and touch me at all.
It's still spit.
Yeah.
Now, I'm with your man about spit. That's private, but
I'm gonna treat you the same fucking way, dude. You know what I'm saying? Lick your face, I mean, but
let's hone in on. I just want to talk for a moment about his dad.
We need to, bring it back in
because they really tried to. I mean, humanize his dad, and that's fine. That's fine. You're humanizing the father, but I'm just wondering. Is this a normal thing? I can say for probably 3/4 of this table, it's not. But is that normal to teach your children how to preserve animals?
Look,
is that a normal thing?
This might be controversial. We culturally, that ain't normal for black people.
Yeah, I don't know. I just said 3/4 of the table. I don't think it's normal for white people either.
No,
that's why I was confused.
But how do taxidermists get into it? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. Like taxidermists. How do you initially get into it so it would seem like...
Did you research taxidermy?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. I had Googled it, you feel me? But I ain't read no articles, but the pictures let me know.
There's a reason for it, but go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Taxidermy wise.
I really don't know like statistics, anything behind it, background. But I'm just saying I don't feel like someone wakes up in their adult life and say, I want to do that. I think there's probably a little bit of people who are you have you're so attached to your animal, and then you.
But in the dad's actual book, he said that he felt like Jeffrey was turned on in a weird way.
Oh wow! Well.
And he said he kind of had thoughts like that too. And, this is why people, abortion's important. Because he should have been aborted.
Okay, but...
sorry, but I'm just like, if you can hindsight say this, but hindsight, your child is playing with organs going, ooh, and got a woody.
But here's
Are
the
you
thing.
kidding me?
Your private bedroom fetish, it's not illegal for you to go jack off to organs. The problem
It should be.
It should be, yes. But the problem is
That's fine.
when it escalates. Like, because fetishes in general, some people like some stuff that, we'd be like, what? Okay, if it's legal and consensual, that's your business.
Yeah, but the person and animal can't be dead.
Again, we may not think it's normal,
Now look.
right?
So how can we question normalcy?
Normality.
Talking
we talked
about
about
Jeffrey Dahmer.
But we talked about that
you know what I'm
on a
saying?
previous episode on what is
I
normal.
wasn't watching the episode like, ooh, look at them organs, babe. You see them organs?
But that's
No,
your fault.
I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
But that's
no,
your
but that's
fault,
also
yeah.
what I was saying is like that's not illegal. And also what Mike was saying, you can't determine what's normal.
But as a parent, if Harper came, now I'm not Harper's parent. If I'm her auntie, and we go outside and Harley kills a possum, and Harper goes up to it and just starts playing in the guts, I'm gonna be like,
but just what you said, Dad was into it too.
I know, and he might need to be on watch also.
The mother.
Harley's on watch.
But
He's been on watch.
I said.
But you.
Dahmer's dad might need to go and watch.
Oh.
But you're talking about someone who also thought it was hot too. So what are you gonna say? Like, I'd be thinking it too. It would have took someone like us to be like, that ain't normal.
Us four black people, you're
Right.
right.
Like
You're
that,
right.
But then
that ain't normal. That's
I called you
weird.
black.
Whatever. Well, the fact of the matter is, they went to the psychiatrist, and I don't know what the dad was thinking. He was doing the best he could from the show, as far as I could tell. Now the
Daddy,
book.
that's fucking
Now the book.
Oh.
Yeah. Now the book.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now him writing that book disclosed a lot more information.
But still, even in the show, the dad did just leave him.
He did. Yeah.
Like,
Talking about your mom wasn't here for 3 months. What were you?
he
was- yeah.
18 or not, you
But
know,
he wasn't 18
laying over in
when
my
he
house.
left.
Yeah, not in real life.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
just,
and you
Because
knew,
in real
and
life,
you knew the
I
mom
was
was pilled
16.
up and pilled out.
yeah.
Know what I'm talking
Look
about?
at that Molly Ringwald pussy.
I
Forgot about
look, Molly.
Forgot about the creepy son he created.
But that's the thing. People just like, it's your responsibility now. Like, you're talking about her, but you would have known had you called at any point in 3 months or however long in real life it was.
And
she wasn't
smell
even
the
there.
house. Somebody smell the house. Like, what is the
Pork chops.
I get mad if the trash is not out. Like, what? Who the fuck? Okay.
You fart too loud and it stink too much. And I have a question.
Okay. I want to talk about the police officers really quick that took the child back. Can we talk about that for a moment?
Tequila, cognac, please, because I have feelings on that.
Oh, the kid
Yes,
that,
because
with the beer
this-
or
Angel.
liquor or whatever.
Yeah, he got out. I'm not sure how. I saw how it was portrayed, but I do remember from actual documentaries, there were neighbors like, "Hey, he looks like a kid."
Yeah.
That wasn't
Not just-
exaggerated.
not just-
I mean, shout out to Niecy Nash, by the way. Bitch, you played the hell out of that shit. I know Evan Peters is getting his glory on it, but girl, you played the hell out of that. But there were neighbors that were fucking concerned, and they literally took this child back, and he was his youngest victim. And this child, he was probably able to fight it because of his age, the drugs and stuff and whatever, and you took him back to get murdered. Fuck you, motherfuckers.
And really, it was portrayed in the series and in real life. They did not see pictures. It was essentially that I don't want to say for sure, but how when you read both of them was accurate. They didn't see pictures. They didn't see an ID. They didn't call anybody.
They just listened to him because it was gay stuff.
Yeah.
And he really was how he got registered as a sex offender was really the younger brother.
Yep. Yeah. I was like, I feel sorry for all of these family members. That, honestly, I could not even fucking imagine.
It.
But could you imagine that you raped my younger child and then killed my older child and raped and did all that family? It was like he was literally the you said demons. He was a devil to them, And they tried.
Were really
they tried.
And they were really immigrants. So
Yeah.
the language barrier,
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took both of their children from them, basically.
Because you can't even imagine.
The younger one, that's his life always. And then lost his brother at like
double trauma.
Fuck you, dudes. Sorry. You know, and I respect the police or whatever, but that situation really pissed me the fuck off.
And you touched on such an important part. This is where I wanted to get your opinion from what I saw. But it touched on, like how I said, there's like multiple facets of this that I don't think people see it past the surface level, but it shows what underserving a community looks like, what it looks like stigmatizing a black community, because there was actually a scene where they're like, well, why are you living here? It's like crackhead community, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's like, it also touches on that because it's like, not only was it gay stuff, it was also because it was a black community, and you let this happen. And they were suspended, whatever that looks like. Yeah. But they did go back.
They went back and got promotions and all kinds of shit, yeah.
And also, I don't know if you saw, I don't know how much everyone looked it up, but did you see, they also got compensated for that.
Yeah. My thing is in Jeffrey's own words, even like in regular documentaries with him where he's actually talking, he has always maintained that he's not racist. And I do not think that he was racist.
Me either.
At all. I think he was a
predator,
weirdo, creep in general, and gay, struggling with that, and also a demon. Sorry, I'm going to keep calling him a demon. I don't care. I don't think he was, I don't care what his mama took and all of these things. I think he's a fucking demon. But he knew how to get away with what he wanted to get away with. And the way to do that was to go to a black community. He liked men. He liked hot men. And black men are hot. Hispanic men are hot. Asian men are hot. Men are hot.
He was turned on by the torso.
By the chest
and the abs. And
he maintained that. And I do believe that. That he said it was never about race. I don't think he was racist at all.
And Dahmer wasn't a bad looking dude.
But he wasn't. He was okay.
I don't know about his body. He didn't look like he wasn't like dirty and gruffy.
But I don't.
He didn't look like.
You keep saying that, but I don't. I keep saying that he wasn't. I don't. He didn't
never said it. I never said
it. That was the first time you said it.
Yeah, that's my first time saying it.
Yeah, he wasn't like objectively. Would I have talked to him? No. But would I have been like, he's ugly AF? No, either. He was just, I mean, he was
normal,
just average.
Average.
In real life, we're not talking about Evan Peters. Because you TikTok dumbasses, I just want to bring up, like, trying to fantasize and sexualize him because it's Evan Peters. Stop it. You know, I get he's a good actor. When they said he was cast, I knew he was going to kill the shit out of that role.
He did that.
Yeah, he did the shit out of that. So I don't want to take shit from him, but this is an American Horror Story. This is a literal, actual American Horror Story. So stop making fun like, ooh, I would have let Jeffrey Dahmer do this to me if he looked like that. Like, that's...
I mean, if he looked like Evan Peters...
It was so stupid and gross. You know, like, this isn't Tate from Horror House.
Right.
That's a character.
Yes.
He is portraying a real demon. So
it had to go to a really dark place to do it.
I hope he's okay, honestly.
Did you see the interview? Like, therapy, everything afterwards. Because he was like, you have to mentally
because he captured that dude. The voice, I was listening to some interviews. His whole delivery.
I knew he would kill that shit.
He captured that dude.
Because you can literally make anyone look like anything. But to, like... really
get into the mannerisms
his hands and everything. And Jeffrey described himself, and he nailed literally Jeffrey.
Not that we care about Jeffrey's opinion, but to keep going with what you're saying. Not to we care about his opinion. But if he was still alive, because some of these serial killers are still alive that they portray, they go meet with him.
Sadly.
Jeffrey, I personally think would have said, that's me. Not that he would have been excited, but I think he would have nonchalant and weird about it. He got it. He got me.
Yeah.
But what my sister was saying, don't glorify that. This is not
gross.
A glorification
You
thing.
can glorify Evan Peters all you want. I mean, I think he's hot too, and that's not my type at all. But I was not turned on watching him play Jeffrey Dahmer. And if you were, you're weird.
How did you feel, to circle back, Tequila, to the police presence, how it was handled, everything?
That's the whole thing about the movie with me. Dahmer did what he did. But the fucking cops, you know how the neighbor called multiple times, they ignored her. Even when the 14-year-old or 15-year-old was outside drunk, her and her daughter were right there. They called the cops and they were saying, that don't look like that's a baby.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
baby,
And they still took him up. You know how they just did not acknowledge her or her complaints. I'm sick of this shit.
And
you know what I'm saying? Because that shit's still going today.
Rest in peace to her too. That woman, she's not alive anymore. No,
that shit's still going today. And then the cops and their unions, which are fine. You know, sometimes you gotta unionize. I understand that. But you know how when they got suspended, their attitude towards their chief for suspending them and all this other kind of shit. You know, just the privilege that comes with, and they deserve some type of privilege because of the job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it still need to be checked. You know, and ain't nobody checking that shit. We wasn't checking it then, not checking it now, and you probably got Dahmer on the other side of town. And somebody complaining about a stinky ass apartment.
Just don't know.
Yeah, and they just not.
And I want to also point out too, like in the show, that scene between her and Niecy Nash and Evan Peters, with him giving her the sandwich. Do y'all know that this man himself, in real life, he gave human meat to multiple neighbors.
Yeah.
So that ate people.
Yeah.
And they made it a scene with her, and she didn't eat it. And, bitch, that was me. That was me, my sister.
The minute she gave
she opened her mouth like, I'm not eating that shit.
Even me, I was like,
yeah.
Even me, I was like, the way your house smells, I'm not eating that. That's all I said.
We don't do potlucks.
I fell for her in that situation right there. Because I don't know if y'all ever sat in the presence of an evil person that was preying upon you.
But she probably thought that he was gonna kill her.
Yeah,
he
was.
Yeah.
If that door wasn't open, he was finna fuck her off.
Yeah.
But the door was open. She was smart. She left the door open.
Yeah.
But she identified that, and they played that role to the T. I identified because I sat in the presence of somebody who probably would have took my life, and so I know what it feels like to sit across from somebody that is ready to fucking kill you. You know, and just to feel the evil that's there. You know what I'm saying? Not because I did anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? Just because. You know what I'm saying?
Evil.
Yeah, just because they were evil. So when she refused like the 4th or 5th time not to eat that sandwich, that fucker switched. And that's when he looked at the door and she realized that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that shit was super powerful.
That shit was crazy as hell, man.
That part, that's what I told her. I told her that when we were watching it, I go, that was the best scene I've ever seen.
Crazy. I'm like, oh,
because you were talking, I got chills.
Yeah.
I got chills with just
I think my hair stood up a little
bit. It was quote unquote funny, just how she handled him. But she handled that shit. Like,
she never let him don't invite evil into your home.
Yes.
Right.
She invited that fucker into the house.
Right.
Well, he made his way in there.
I told him that.
Which he probably would have gotten.
When it started, when that scene started, my whole demeanor changed.
With the fucking foil wrap. What the fuck?
My whole demeanor changed, and I was like,
can I come in? Because I got a door. And no, you can't come in my house.
First of all, the way
I'll step out.
The way your apartment smells, I don't want it. First of all, second of all, I don't
your
even.
Clothes smell like your
I don't even want you.
Like, get out.
In my apartment. Well, I'm just trying to be nice.
And did anybody, just side note, Did anybody see a washer and dryer in any of the apartments?
So
he was washing his clothes with him.
They gotta go downstairs.
Yeah,
and share.
And he wasn't washing nothing. Let's be for real.
I mean,
Or in the sink.
he was gonna get
the
it.
organs.
He was getting it cleaned every time. That's what he said.
But
I have shampoo.
The whole floor stunk, not just at the park.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they focused.
The whole floor, wherever the
they focused on her because she was the one that kept calling.
Yeah.
She, not all heroes wear capes, like I said. She did her damn due diligence.
Yeah.
And she could not leave.
Yeah.
People were like, why the fuck do you stay there? And she couldn't afford it.
And
you're talking about the 70s, 80s.
And they really did not provide accommodations in real life. It was, okay, you just, we said get out.
Yeah. And then her whole ass job want to fire her.
Yeah.
Over this.
Yeah.
So speaking up.
Yeah. And it's so crazy because, like I said, I don't want to say you don't know, but it's like there's so much that was fictionalized and that was real, and unless you really look into it to see what was...
I suggest anybody that watched the show to actually watch actual documentaries. So, I was pumped to watch it because I knew it would be portrayed. It's different because in documentaries, the victims can't talk.
Yeah.
And I do feel like the victims talked with this show, and I know in real life the victims' family members are upset about it. Because they didn't talk to all of them.
Yeah, but I would like to say again, you guys were all born before me. I don't know how much you knew or saw when it actually happened, but someone who was actually born in 91, which is something I was telling you I was thinking about, is it's like when we read things, right? It's real, but it's not real.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, that ain't gonna happen in 2022, right? It made it real for someone who didn't know.
Yeah.
It made these victims alive again.
Yeah.
It showed who they were. And I agree with you. They didn't talk to all the victims. They didn't, do what they could have done. But I would implore them to understand from someone, again, who's read it in black and white. It made your victims, your family members, your sons, your uncles, it made it real to another generation. Yeah. And it hurt. And it was like there were times, so I didn't watch it in succession. I kept telling you like, oh no, I stopped here because it was so real. It was like, I have to remember there was nothing entertaining about it to me.
No.
What it was this actually happened. This isn't a made up story.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to take a second as a human to realize that this isn't just a story. This is someone's final moments.
Yeah.
And there was justice in some people's eyes. It wasn't justice.
No.
I took it the same way you're
taking it. It was like, so imagine, like, okay, he got life, and yes, multiple life sentences. Okay, cool. And again, we're not knocking the dude who killed him, but imagine you got the easy way out.
But he only got convicted on 15, not 17. He killed 17 people and they only convicted him on 15.
That they know of.
Yeah, but that's because they didn't collect 17 torsos and shit. He told them.
Yeah.
He told them. That's the only.
Some weren't identified.
They didn't even have. They didn't have evidence.
He
was putting them in acid and everything else, and that's a big time frame, 1978 to 1991. Like they're.
And that was the big turnoff. That is what I did not understand. Not to cut you off, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
He kept that drum, that poly drum,
in
the fucking room.
And nobody asked what the fuck trash can is that?
That was another thing.
What the fuck? What's going on there?
At
least put something on top of it. Put a candle or something.
Or something.
But only Niecy Nash's character was the one who said, you said that last week. Yeah. So it should be gone.
Yeah.
Well, who knows in real life, but in the series, but you did that last week.
Yeah. But it's like some lame ass shit. I'll cook the barbecue different. Who barbecue?
Right.
What are you barbecuing?
How you barbecuing? It wasn't no patio.
We're all black. We all barbecuing over here, and our shit don't smell like that.
Because everything he's not putting seasoning on it.
I was just about to say it. That's why I stopped.
I'm dead.
Yes.
I'm dead. Yeah.
So the barrel thing too. Yeah, that part. Like when they walked in. Oh,
That's what they
the
just
barrel's
ignore
gay.
everything.
It's gay stuff.
If he didn't open that drawer, he would have went on for probably another 10 years.
He got a barrel of monkeys in the corner.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I do want to say this too. I kind of touched on it with the guy who killed him, and the God things or whatever. But this man, you know, he found God. You know how some of them do. He found God all of a sudden. But not only was it the man that killed him, but other prisoners said he was in there joking, making jokes.
No.
You know, pouring ketchup and putting his food around. I was like, this is what it looked like when I did this. I'm sorry. You can't just say I found God and that's how you're acting.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just the man that killed him. You know, I don't have all of their names.
Yeah.
But you can't come around me.
Yeah, he wasn't remorseful.
Yeah, he wasn't remorseful at all.
But he wasn't ever remorseful.
I know people that
He wasn't.
I know a lot of people that are remorseful.
Yeah, he wasn't
think
ever
they're owed
remorseful.
something.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. He wanted them to kill him.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, you had to.
Yeah,
You're just doing that
shoot
shit.
me now.
You know, because you're in a prison.
Yeah.
Sorry, statistically, you're in a prison full of colored people.
Yeah.
Again, I know a lot of people that
and you're
are
bragging
remorseful
and making jokes about eating colored people. You may have not been racist. You just were gay and trying to be big shit and weird.
Again,
but
it circles back to him being awkward. So it's like he might have gotten like responses from people who were like, you know, and he's like, okay. So
and
this
to be
is how I do
frank
it.
and not sound gross, he was in his happy place. He's in a prison. He wanted to fuck men.
Well,
so he was in his happy place, but they didn't want to fuck with him. So
you met the right one.
Christopher Carver might have did him a favor, I guess.
That's what he thought.
But he did say, did you see in I don't know if you saw in the interview with Carver, he said he didn't make a noise the whole time he killed him.
I didn't see that
he was silent.
Oh yeah.
That's a demon.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was... I think he was
so
turned on.
It's not like the movies.
This hot black man is beating me up. Yes. Well, now I can feel it.
He didn't squeal like a boiling lobster.
No, he didn't say anything.
No,
he said
I'm saying
that
the demon noise in
real life, and they showed it on the show too. People wouldn't pick that up that he was quiet. That would have just been a theatrical. But in real life, the guy said he was quiet.
So in the Bible, in the Old Testament, so y'all may be familiar with where the demons or angels was cast down. It talks about how they were infatuated with human flesh, and then that's where you got giants from. They would just do anything
to manipulate
with the human flesh. They just, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's where homosexuality. I'm putting quotations up. You know what I'm saying? They would just do anything with the human flesh. And it don't have to be with homosexuality. It just was infatuated with the human flesh.
Well, because it was not made after God's image, so on and so forth. So.
But I don't think he
distraught that.
I don't think anything that he did had to do with God.
No, I'm talking about the demon part.
The demons
infatuated with the flesh.
No, what he was saying, infatuated with the human flesh.
Where he eating it and all kind of shit.
Yeah. Okay, I get that. Because the only reason why I said I didn't think that, but yeah, and I said that because he thought he was a scientist. You know, what he wanted was to...
Because his dad told him that.
Yeah,
his dad taught that science shit.
He started out drilling holes. It wasn't just chopping and eating.
Yeah.
He started out drilling holes, like performing lobotomies, and then pouring, things to see if he could control. He wanted a human sex slave. He thought he was a scientist.
But do you think... Okay, this might sound like super out of left pocket.
Or crass, because you're laughing already. What?
No. But again, different time frames. The things that we have available now, right?
No. It would have never fulfilled his... Yeah. She's talking about, like what do you call the dolls? What do they call them?
Oh, those botch. What? Yeah, I get what I kind of get what you're saying.
For him. I know.
You know what's weird is.
But no, he would not have been okay with just the rubber doll.
Yeah, because he wouldn't have been able to eat it afterwards, or well, whatever.
Well, he liked the mannequin. a lot. He wanted to kill his grandma.
That is
right now.
true.
I just saw a
Oh
commercial
yeah,
the other day,
I forgot
and
about that
I'm
boy.
like,
That's
it was-
silver.
I want the
I was
grandma.
watching-
I wish the grandma wrote a book. I know
Yeah.
she's not alive
I
now,
was
probably.
watching
but-
Buffy, I know you gonna know.
Yeah.
The episode where the Giles and the demon and they come in and Ethan Rain and she goes in to help Ethan Rain and he has all the mannequins. I'm not even joking out loud. I said, Jeffrey would have loved that shop. Because look at his package over there.
He kind of reminds me, there's an old movie, do you remember, I forgot what his name was, but he killed people and made like the garden in the water, and it was a true story.
Cabin by the Lake?
Roses?
Yeah, Cabin by the Lake.
Oh.
No. And he killed people, and he made basically, like, nobody ever knew. And it's a true story. But there was a movie, and he made, like, his own victim garden under the lake.
The dude from...
16 Candles with
yes,
Molly Ringwald.
what is it? I can't think of his name. Yes.
Judge or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he wanted his own, like, he was trying to create his own something. And the moment you told him you were going to leave, like, you could have just said, I got to leave to go wash my clothes. He snapped.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I mean, I don't know, and I don't want to speak for the victims' families, but at least the death episode, I think he actually loved Jeffrey.
So to speak on that
Ooh.
point,
The deaf guy.
that was the first...
He actually liked him.
Yeah, he
and
did.
But see,
the moment he said, I got to go basically do something that wasn't
come
me,
back.
he killed, and I think had he not killed him, and I'm sorry, I don't know, it shoulda, woulda, coulda, hindsight, I think he could have helped him if he was helpable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
I mean,
had
I
he
don't
not
even know
came
if
back
helpable is
to
a
get the keys, he was able to leave.
Yeah.
He had to come back and get his keys.
But he
that's
snapped.
actually
There was a snap.
fictionalized.
Yeah.
Because again, I told you that was the one episode that really did it for me. I had to stop. I only finished watching it because of this episode. But when I looked it up, there's all of that was fictionalized because from the date he was reported missing to the date of his death once they retrieved him was only a day or two. So in the series it portrays it over a course of so many days, right? But I would be very interested to know if he's ever done an interview that kind of talked about it, where it was like they made it seem like it was over 7 days, but it happened in 2 days, or what. But no, it was like he went missing on a Thursday. His date of death was like that Friday or Saturday.
But he went missing. But I think, I don't know, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I think that his people, the victims' people, talked to them because he had friends. So the friends were there with him in the scene. Like they put them there for a reason. That's not public knowledge. So I think the friends will say he met him on this day.
Yeah.
They were hanging out. Da 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 da. And that's why I think that episode is so much more powerful because.
And he did like him.
It seemed like
they showed the court.
Yeah, there's a reason why he exactly, and he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't kill him right away. Like he killed other people.
Yeah.
He had multiple hangouts with this person.
And that's why for me, I don't want to negate your guys' point of him being a demon.
He a demon.
But
I'm gonna keep
for
saying
me, it's kind of like how you were just saying, like if he was helpable, no one knows.
He wasn't.
But
he was
it's like
sorry, it's our podcast. That's what I do.
No, I get it. But if you think about it though, right? He's the only one, apparently, allegedly, we don't know, that he didn't kill right away, right? So it's almost like, again, had he been able to progress, because this is the first person who kind of understands him, is showing him this love, this whatever he claimed or didn't claim, whatever, this attention that he needed, right? It's the first time in the whole series that we're actually showing someone who had interest in him. He didn't show him any of the weird things, the animals and all that. So
the game was weird.
But you get what I'm saying. Like he didn't show him the things that we're talking about. He was jacking off to the organs of animals, all of that stuff. He's the first person in that whole series, at least, that was like, feeling him, talking to him, all this stuff. So it begs the question again, was he always destined to be this demon?
Yes.
Or had he had that understanding from his home life, from a different society, whatever, would he have done what he did?
I think that he might have been boyfriend with him, but he still would have had that urge.
Do you think
to
an
other
urge,
people.
but an urge, and there's a lot of things, I don't want to say we think of anything super crazy, but things that it's just like, I'm not going to do that because that's not normal. Do you think he would have had that urge and been able to tame it throughout the course of their relationship?
No, I think he would have killed other people with him in the house still.
Well, with that being said,
that's a great insight.
It's kind of like when Mike said about the demon aspect too, the flesh thing, all that stuff, and her saying he's a demon. He probably gave this cat a little more time because it might have been an interesting aspect on it, being, like you said, African American, gay, and deaf.
Because he was so cute.
So it was
even real life.
Well, it was more like, this is new. Let me figure this out. Because I'm used to doing this regular.
It's just like this. This guy just spoke to a certain different side of his spirit, physique.
Do you think? Do you think that interest, that different spark, at some point would have wore off, and he would have eventually ended up killing him?
He killed him.
I killed him anyway.
No, I'm saying we're saying in a different reality where it's like, okay, we're boyfriend. This is great. It's a different, like Cognac was saying, a different, thing to him. Do you think, though, eventually it would have wore off and he would have also killed him? Or do you think he would have kept him, it would have kept intriguing him, he understood him, and like my sister said, and he would have just killed other people?
You're just talking about this, so you're talking about one moment when you just thought he snapped on this cat.
Most serial killers, we'll do other true crimes, sorry. Most serial killers have a home life.
Yeah.
True. Very true.
So what's the difference? Like,
no. So my question is, do you think at some point that intrigue of him would have wore off, and he would have eventually,
they'll do whatever to protect whatever. The deaf guy might have eventually realized. Wait, what the fuck is this?
It's thinking here.
Wait, what the fuck is this? And he would have killed him. I'm just saying, he might have had a whole relationship with this man. I mean, I'm sorry to the victim's family, I'm just going off the show. He might have had a whole relationship with him. But people have double lives. Yeah. And Jeffrey had tripled, quadrupled, a lot of them. So yeah, I think he would have still been killing people.
Jeffrey had
because he was turned on by fucking internal organs.
Yeah.
Not just a dick, not just a torso.
Jeffrey
he ate organs.
To answer her question, in my opinion, Jeffrey never even went to the point of having a double life. He identified himself based off of his actions, and nobody changed that identity. That the deaf guy got close to him thinking about his identity, and he backed up a little bit. But at the end of the day, he identified himself based off his actions. And not committing those actions was in as far as the movie go, not committing those actions was a problem for him. I haven't done it yet. What's going on with
and he said that in his documentary. He's like, I stopped for a while.
Yeah, and he identified himself with what he was doing. He was going to do that shit because that's me. He accepted what he was doing,
and I'm good at it. And I like it.
Pretty much. Well.
Yeah.
I knew you guys were the best ones to talk
about. The deaf guy made him look at himself differently.
Yeah.
Because he asked you could think about the questions he asked the deaf guy. Saying, how do you do it and why? And the answers made him think about himself and accepting himself for who he was. So he was intrigued by the deaf guy's.
That's what I was kind of getting at.
Courage. He had a lot of courage. He accepted, his faults, and he was moving. He had goals, and he was setting that shit. So he was turned on by oh boy, it's dry. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
just to
saying?
see. That's what I said.
And
Yeah.
there's serial killers that don't kill certain people just because of their interaction.
Yeah.
They don't stop killing.
Yeah, like literally,
But
they'll
they
say,
don't
well,
stop
they were
killing.
nice to me, or they opened the door
Yeah.
for me, and it was something so
Yeah,
minor.
so
that
stupid.
Yeah.
It's like you have the arrow on for me. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
He gave me water.
So just to finish it up, I do have a.
We gotta roll it up.
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna wrap it.
The pasta I made is delicious.
Well, I'm gonna wrap it up on this. I need to know about this. So,
What?
this was the part I was trying to interact on. The fans, fuck y'all.
I
don't
said that.
get. Oh, did you?
I said that. The
about the writing the
TikTokers. Y'all are
letters.
weird.
Oh, the
Y'all are
TikTok.
weird.
But I'm talking about writing the letters. Writing the letters.
All of the stereotypes,
yeah.
you guys are
That
weird.
shit
You're
is
fucking
weird.
Crazy to me.
You don't know these people. They're in prison.
That shit's crazy to me.
They're
Like,
serial. You know, there's a difference between a petty crime or something. But
whatever. But
this man was eating people.
But
why are you writing it?
Self-admittedly.
like, get a life.
And he doesn't want you, girl.
Right? Like,
you saw who he was eating.
Man, that's
corny to me.
It's weird. That's the weirdest shit to me. It's like you have that much of self-esteem and like.
I mean, but you have devil worshippers and
I get
that. You never know where they coming from.
Yeah,
I get that.
And why they, you know what I'm saying, putting them on pedestals.
But have you ever peeped that
but
like true devil worshippers? I've actually looked up the true ones who are like that's their religion or whatever. They're not writing them. It's the ones who are like, oh, it's like an aesthetic thing. Like, oh, I'm goth. I put on dark makeup. Yeah, I love him. It's never the true ones. It's the ones who are the fake ones that be writing these serial killers.
Trying to be cute. Trying to be.
And you're not cute.
Yeah. You're not cute. And you're
None
gross.
of y'all.
You're gross, and you should be arrested too.
So we're gonna get into our
and then sending pictures with the hoses. What do you call them? Fishnet hoses that are broke up down the leg.
No, those are that's a hot.
Yeah, we're gonna get into our.
Anyways, thank you.
But not
guys.
on them. Oh, sorry.
Thank you guys for listening to our first true crime episode.
And super wonderful hearing Cognac, Tequila, and the girls' perspective. This is why I wanted to be a part of it, because I just wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on it.
Because we're so smart. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
It's just me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, we tell you guys 3,000 questions about us. You know, because we want to be ultra transparent.
The guest
So
is
we do this
asking.
magnificent.
Let's make it fast.
Title 3,000 questions about me.
We all need a biological break at this point.
Me being tequila, me being cognac, me being the girl, and me being
shot girl.
And
open, read.
Shot girl gonna
randomly open
and ask the question. Hopefully, it's not a real thought-provoking.
Me either, because I'm gonna be like, yep. Like Pete.
Do I have to
Pete
read
Davidson impersonation? Okay.
It's so whack. It's literally
okay.
so
Just read.
Mark it out, by the way.
Please.
Please.
Do you think Bigfoot?
What's the number? We need the number though.
2412.
Okay.
Do you think Bigfoot is real?
No.
Nah.
Oh, great.
Well, he may be, but yeah.
No.
Well, he may
I'm
be.
mind my business as long as he mind his business.
Look, I ain't seen him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I ain't gonna say the man not real.
Yeah, I don't want to come over here.
Yeah.
Say where you at.
I see looking for him. Lowe's ain't looking for me.
I've seen some people.
I've
I've seen some people hairy enough.
Yeah.
That can pull it off.
Were they big? Were they big?
No.
Or were they short? I'm not talking to you. Mini foot.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for listening so much. It was a long episode, but we had to get into certain things.
Thank y'all, and God bless the families.
Yes.
Please.
Sorry, we are not trying to capitalize.
Yeah, we're not trying to capitalize at all by any means.
Especially me and my sister, we grew up watching true crime stuff with our parents, you know, and they're military vets and stuff. So we grew up with this.
And we're black.
Well, there's
and that too.
There's that.
And put some respect on it. But we were talking about it. It's going on right now because of like the people I mentioned earlier. That they didn't even know who the fuck the man was until the show. So,
yeah, which is weird.
So that's what we're doing. We'll probably hit up another one when we're all watching.
Invite Shot Girl because I love it.
We'll see. But thank you.
Thank you
subscribe.
Again. Yeah.
Please.
Follow me. I'm going to make an Instagram for Shot Girl.
Well, you need to promote us if you're going to ask them.
I got the hat now.
Oh, okay. She'll wear a hat. All right. Love you guys. Mwah. Bye.
Good night.
That's it for this week's episode of Cognac, Tequila, and the Girl. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. As always, we'd love to hear your feedback. Follow us on all the social medias. Leave your comments and reviews. Until next week, keep safe and keep your squad close. Thanks for hanging out.